This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your host. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And today we're back with our final, for now, Kim Possible episode. I feel like we say this every time, they grow up so fast, they come and go, etc., etc. I really love
it is, etc.
It is, etc.
It is.
I really feel like, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like you might feel the same way of like, you and I never really watched this show growing up. And so I've loved so much actually being able to watch it now as an adult and like fully being able to be like, this is a great show. This show brings joy. Fully.
I agree. Yeah. You know, the things that we wouldn't have appreciated as kids, we definitely appreciate now about it. There's a lot of great adult humor. So these writers, they knew what they were doing. And we'll end it on that note today, too. We got some clever writers in here.
All right. Well, why don't you just take it away and tell us about it then?
Some omnipotent, perhaps future predicting writers, if you will. Or just, you know, they just have a good worldview, in my opinion. So we love you, Bob Schooley and Mark McCorkle, guys.
We're glad that we came across the show
eventually. Exactly. Yes. You know, whether true or not, that's how it exists on this show. That's
true
the canon here. Yes. So today, our last episode of Kim Possible, we're going to have quite a ride, quite a whirlwind, quite a team up that I think you're going to love. It was basically the reason why I chose to do this episode. You know, after watching it, I was like, we'll see. It might be a little all over the place to tell, but you know what? The team up in this is worth it.
Okay.
So this episode, it's from also season 4. So the last season of Kim Possible, episode 2, and it's called The Big Job.
Okay.
And in this episode, we are celebrating or getting ready to celebrate the birthday of one and only a character you've covered on this episode arc so far. The birthday of Senior.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm interested in we're getting ready to celebrate. Who is this team that will team up? Okay.
Let's see. Okay. You see, Senior's birthday, it's right around the corner, and his dear son, who we've decided we absolutely love, and he's such a good son, Junior wants to give him the greatest gift he could ever ask for. The only thing one could really give a billionaire who already owns literally
everything, islands, countries,
and everything. Exactly. That one gift, that one thing is a perfectly executed caper.
That is the perfect gift.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Junior knows
everything.
His dad.
So yeah, it's like, hey, Dad, watch me commit this crime and get away with it and be evil. Exactly.
That's
be
all
evil.
Senior's ever wanted.
That's the key word. Exactly. That's all he wants is for his son to be evil.
Got the feeling someone's birthday is about to have birthday disappointment. Okay.
But I'm glad you said that because we know Junior, you just said, and Junior knows himself.
He's honest with himself.
And he knows, exactly. He knows that if he wants to pull off this wonderful surprise for his father, that he's going to need some help. And he knows that he needs someone who is battle tested, someone super strong and powerful, someone who he knows well and has worked well with in the past. Maybe a bit more on that in a second. The only problem with
the animatronic bear.
You cannot fail. Barrymore can get in and out of any clandestine location. He can crack any safe.
If you hear the twang of his banjo, it's over.
Run.
It's too late.
It's too late to run. You're already dead.
You're done. Yeah, you dead.
Yes. It's his calling card. So no, this person who Junior knows he needs to, whose help he needs to do this caper, unfortunately, it's someone who's currently behind bars in a maximum facility penitentiary.
Okay.
So Junior, he decides he's got to break this person out. So he grabs one of his father's mini helicopters and some like explosives, TNT, whatnot, casual. and he takes off to break out his soon-to-be partner in crime.
Okay.
And as he approaches the penitentiary, we see our good friend Dr. Draken looking up towards the clear.
Oh,
I
no.
see the look in your face. Just hold.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm processing right now.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were gonna say Shigo because you said strong, battle tested, but then you said actually arrested, and I was like, she never gets
She never gets
arrested.
arrested.
Please
Yeah,
don't let it be Draken. And then I realized, wait, this is Junior's plan.
exactly.
Maybe not the
Not
most
seniors.
competent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we
Let's hear
see
this.
Dr. Draken looking up towards the clear night sky through the bars of a stone prison cell, and
Huh.
he's anxiously awaiting the arrival of one of the world's many great villains who must just be dying to free Draken from behind this cold, dark prison cell and this dramatic prison break.
Uh-huh.
And so when he sees this helicopter getting super close to the prison gates and really getting close to his cell window,
Uh-huh.
he obviously starts to get very excited.
Hmm.
And he gets even more excited when he sees, kind of like a TNT sort of thing or like a bomb kind of
Classic.
in the hand of someone who is, yeah, we can assume it's Junior, but you just like see his
Uh-huh.
silhouette in the helicopter. So he gets
Yeah,
very
it's a pretty unique
excited.
silhouette. It definitely is.
Exactly. He's all upper body, man.
Yeah.
It's
That
all
Johnny
biceps and
Bravo
chest.
physique.
Yes. Yes. But Draken then gets a little confused when he realizes that the helicopter, it's not like actually dropping its ladder in front of Draken's window.
Okay.
It actually shoots across to the other side of the prison
Okay.
to, yes, perhaps the women's holding block.
Okay, let's go. Also,
and then
damn
and
harsh. Harsh.
harsh, super harsh. Like Draken is reaching out of the cells, like of the bars, like for this helicopter, and it just flies over to the other side of the prison. And yes, the little like rope ladder falls down. We see Junior climb down, attach this bomb to the wall on that
Oh
side of
yeah.
the prison. He explodes it. A hole creates in the cell, which, yes, you called it, is holding
Yes.
Shigo,
Just because
not
it's what I
Dr. Draken.
wanted.
Exactly. It's what we all wanted. Let's be real. And obviously, including Junior, he's not as dumb
Yes.
as we think he is.
Yep.
He's, and we talked about that last time with him. He had a
Yeah.
generally good idea with just overcharging for drinks at that private
Evil.
island.
Evil.
It's just, exactly. It's a different kind of evil, if you will. So,
Exactly.
yes. Now, of course, this pisses Dr. Draken off, though, because
He
like,
sees
he's
Shigo and him flying away.
exactly. And he's just like, that what? She's a sidekick. You need me. It's me you need. She can't help you. Oh,
Damn.
yeah. I don't think she hears it, thankfully. And I
Yeah.
am also paraphrasing a little bit, but he is pissed that his sidekick
Yes.
is the one who's getting broken out of prison, not
Mm.
him.
Okay.
And so Shigo, when she sees a massive bomb blow a hole in her cell, she does not hesitate to take this as a chance to break free. She has
Yep.
no clue who's in the helicopter yet or who put that bomb there, but she's
Yep.
like, I'm out. They're paying me something,
Yeah, so she's a
probably.
mercenary for hire. She's like, great, let's
Exactly.
go.
Yep. And so she hops right on into the chopper and they make their escape and go right on back to Junior slash his father's safe and secluded island.
Awesome.
So when they get to this island, Junior and Shigo immediately start plotting in this layer, this high-tech facility layer somewhere in
Mhm.
Senior's mansion. And Junior basically explains the rundown of why he broke her out and everything.
Mhm.
He tells her, I want to execute a perfect caper for my dad. It's the only gift you can get for someone who has everything.
Mhm.
And Shigo, she's super flattered, by the way. Like, she's like, you committed a felony and went through all of the trouble of
Uh-oh.
getting me out of prison.
Shigo's in love.
And Junior might be too, because Junior
Oh my God, the couple we
Junior
never knew we
says,
needed.
Well, I mean, we had so much fun together on the last time we worked together, the last crime we committed, all the way up until when we got arrested and thrown in jail. But I just figured like you would be the perfect person to help me with
God.
this.
Is
And
this a
yes,
date?
at this moment, I was like, pause. Is this a date?
They're both asking themselves that.
They are. And, at this moment, I was like, I never thought about this because I didn't watch this show growing up. So
Yeah.
I only have heard of the one episode with Junior that you talked about earlier on in our arc.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I was like, I never thought about Junior and Shigo together. But maybe there's something here. Maybe.
Maybe there's something here.
I think Shigo is kind of okay with it, but she also wants someone maybe a little bit more ambitious than Junior
She's
in a
like,
way.
so I'm gonna meet your dad.
Yes. Well, and in that for like the very end of the
Oh
episode. And
no.
again, there's a lot. We'll do a lot of speculating throughout
Okay, hell
this.
yeah, let's go.
Yes. So, but suffice it to say, I think Shigo has met Senior before
Okay.
too, and he has his opinions on her. Let me tell you,
Oh
just
God.
like any
Okay.
protective father trying to protect his baby boy and his
I'm so excited for this episode.
massive wealth.
Yeah, mainly his massive, massive wealth.
Yes.
His true
So
baby, his true child.
as well, exactly. So yes, Junior is running her through his main plan, but still, kind of telling her, I haven't really picked a specific caper for this surprise, but I have a
Mhm.
few ideas. So they go through like this database basically that Junior has of all of these different artifacts and like
Mm.
criminal weapons and coveted
Okay.
weapons and everything. And he's going like, oh, we could steal this or we could do that. We could try to heist this.
Uh-huh.
But then their discussion and their planning is interrupted when there's a buzz on the intercom
Hmm.
from Junior's father, Senior, who is somewhere else in this mansion playing his weekly poker game with his best friends. And over the intercom, Senior asks Junior to bring them some more snacks and orange soda and like snickerdoodle
Ooh.
cookies, like all of his favorite treats. Yeah. And she goes like, wait, what's going
You
on?
live with your
Like,
dad? You still live at home?
yeah. I mean, she go looks around though. She sees this place. She's like, "Is your dad the only thing between you having this and like?" Because I mean,
So
that's
let's
just
talk
one person. He's getting
inheritance.
kind of old. Exactly. Let's talk inheritance and let's talk about the health of your father, generally
Yeah,
speaking,
or
right
lack
now.
thereof.
Yes. So anyway, he runs off to go get his dad his snacks and his treats because he's a very good son and he wants to make
Mhm.
sure, like he said, that he keeps his portion of the inheritance. So he does anything that his dad asks. And he basically is like, all right, just put a pin in this Shigo and I'll be right back. Let me go tend to my father.
Mhm.
So when he gets back to the lair, they start going again through this database. And it's funny because as I said, he was clicking through a bunch of stuff, right? They keep clicking through, they continue their little search of what fun thing would be to steal. But Junior is just super unimpressed by every single thing because he and his
Okay.
father
Have
already
everything.
have everything in this database. He's like, I mean, we could steal that or heist that, but like, no, I already have that, or
Oh my
we
God.
got this. And, eventually, after some more scrolling,
Uh-huh.
Junior comes across artifacts that are being held at, drumroll for you, Grace, and for you alone,
Oh my
a
God. This is
museum.
my dream episode. This matchup and a music. Is this my birthday? Is that my
I
birthday
think so. And, as I was writing this, I was like, damn, should I save this for our holiday, our winter
right
arc? Because this is like such a good birthday episode. But I
now?
was like,
You
no,
know
I'm not going
what?
to rewrite another
When is this
episode.
coming out? May. It's almost June. That's almost my half birthday. It
Halfway. It's halfway
counts.
through. Yeah,
Oh my God.
exactly.
I'm
Happy half
honored.
birthday.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm locked in. Let's do this. Let me join this dream
So, yeah, exactly. You're like, let me cartoonize myself,
team.
hop in. What do they need? Do they need a driver? Do they
I'm in
need
it.
anything? I'm here. So, yes, they come across all these artifacts being held at a museum, and the various artifacts are all really just a bunch of weapons that are parts of an exhibit on the history of villainy. And the most
Okay.
prized and expensive of the artifacts in this exhibit is called the Tome of Treachery. And it's just this like ancient looking book that has evil, treacherous things inside of it. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. And, Shigo kind of pauses him as he's going through all of this stuff, and he finally is excited by this thing. Shigo's like, wait, wait, wait. Do you know how hard Draken works, by the way, to get even an iota of the things in this database that you've just gone through, and you already have all of it? And Junior responds, well, he should have called. Like, I would have
What am I
I would
supposed to do
have given
about
him
it?
something. Yeah, tell him you have my number, Shigo. You
Yeah,
could
if you had
call
just
me. He could
called me
come
every
over
now and then.
anytime. Yeah, so I think that was him slyly kind of dropping that. Like, why haven't you called me? I just busted you out of
Yeah.
prison. You better call me again.
Yeah, if you want a third date, which I'm hoping we want to have, right? We want to have it. Call me.
Right? It's going well so far, right?
Are you impressed with this list?
Yeah.
You
Do you want some
complaining
orange
about it?
soda,
Yeah.
snickerdoodles,
Snickerdoodle, you complaining
anything?
about me having this list? Does this mean you're impressed? It seems like it.
It's cool. He's like, all for it. So now it should come as no surprise that the Middleton Penitentiary, however, going back a little bit,
Hmm.
that whole thing about getting bombed and a world famous or infamous villain
Yeah.
breaking free during that bombing attack, it should come as no surprise that that's a pretty newsworthy event.
Yeah.
Or at least it wouldn't stay under wraps for too long. Someone would
Hmm.
find out about that. So someone is probably hot on Shigo's tail now. And of
Okay.
course, that's someone, aka the real leader of Team Possible, Wade Load. He's already on to this. He
Yep.
catches wind pretty quickly of Shigo
He's leaking it to
escaping
the news.
to the media, yeah, to the president.
Yeah.
And and he calls Kim to fill her in on the
Mm.
situation. So Kim, Ron, and another new character adding to the epicness of this
Oh.
episode, their friend Monique. They're sitting, who
Oh.
I'll talk about in just 1 second.
Okay.
The three of them are currently sitting at the food court at the Middleton Mall when this call from Wade comes in.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, a bit of context about what is going on here. Monique is a close friend of Kim who gives her advice. She serves as a counterbalance to Ron's eccentricities in many episodes. She doesn't really have any
Oh.
fighting skills, but she sometimes assists Kim on her missions and helps design her new uniform and some of her fighting outfits.
Oh,
And
cool.
I
Okay.
don't know. I want to say Monique maybe was introduced in season 3, but I don't know
Okay.
that for sure. She might just be in season 4. But the epicness of Monique lies in the fact that she is voiced by the one and only Disney princess herself, live action Disney princess, Disney Channel princess herself,
Yes.
Raven Simone. That's so Raven.
That's
The
so
Cosby
Raven.
Show.
Oh
Yes,
my
you
God.
know it.
Everything.
Exactly.
Cheetah
And
Girls, Cheetah
so, Cheetah
Sisters. Oh my
Girls,
God.
exactly. The one and only. Yes. So she's a legend. And yeah, I feel like this was an era where they were just putting her in everything, like the
Yes,
early 2000s on Disney. Like she was
absolutely.
just in every show. Or I guess like this was 2007, I think, because it's
Yes.
season 4. But still, you get it. Early 2000s. And I like honestly forgot she was in this show, but I'm not at all surprised that she is because
Yeah,
they
truly.
had to have been like, yeah, just create a character for Raven. Why
Yeah.
not? Like she's
Raven's
around.
in this now.
Yes, and she's in this now. She is canon in this universe. And I feel like she just has that sort of she plays that sort of character that is like very grounded. The almost the she's like the voice of the audience. Like we're watching the show saying
Yes.
like, "Are you serious? Come on, be more reasonable."
Yeah. And then
And
she says,
Raven's characters are always the ones who point out like, "Are you serious? Be more reasonable," but
yes,
like in a
like
very real tone.
constantly surrounded
Yes,
by idiots.
exactly.
Yeah.
And girl, that's exactly how she feels in this episode. Or at least
Yes.
maybe not idiots, but lazy people who don't want to work, which we'll
Oh,
get
okay.
more to that in just a second. And so, with the introduction of Monique here in this fourth season episode, we also have to remember, as this is, again, the fourth season of the show, and we touched on this very early in our arc, I
Uh-huh.
think in the first episode, we now see Kim and Ron dating in this episode, too. Yes. So they're
Oh.
a full on couple, fully an item. And already in episode 2 of this season,
Trouble in
they're
Paradise.
fighting. They're in trouble in paradise.
Is this a date?
Monique is awkwardly the third wing.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't know.
So these two have not been seeing eye to eye on the one thing that can make or break any relationship:
Uh-oh.
money,
Oh,
finances. Even for 18-year-olds or
damn, okay.
17-year-olds, I think they are now. Okay, I also want to know what you were
I thought
thinking,
it was gonna be
keeping
like
in mind this is
sharing the burritos at their favorite Mexican shop. Like I thought it was gonna be something stupid in
in a
Disney
way
Channel.
that comes back to money, Grace. In this economy, you want to share a burrito? I'm trying to get full, but a burrito is like what, $18
Well, we gotta
nowadays?
share it. Sorry
Listen, we
about
got it, but I
it.
don't want to, but still I want my money's worth. But
Yeah,
listen, yeah.
you're
But
right. You
no,
know what? You're
it
right. We were both. I said what you said basically. Correct.
yeah, it's all everything comes down to the almighty dollar
Oh yes.
in this society. So, okay, here's what's going on. The night before all of this, before Wade calls in Kim, before we see these three having fun at the mall together, Ron took Kim on a very romantic date at the
Okay.
fanciest restaurant in town.
Oh.
But when they took one look at the menu prices at said restaurant,
Mhm.
Ron immediately handed the menu back to the waiter and said, "Can I get a kid's menu, please?" This 17-year-old boy. And in addition to
Was
that,
Kim
he
mad about
pulled out
that?
a, well, no, which again, we can
Okay.
talk about that a bit later too. It's like Ron might be right this entire episode, but more on that in a moment.
Okay. I do have a
So,
thought, but keep going.
okay. So after asking for the kids menu, Ron also pulls out a coupon book that has a kids eat free coupon for this restaurant in
Hey,
it.
hustling.
Hey, don't let that paper go to waste. You know,
Yeah.
you got to use
Use
that.
it.
Exactly. So Kim, though, being Kim, she's a little more type A. She is a little more mature, perhaps, than Ron, and wants to be
Mhm.
seen as more mature. She is
Mm,
constantly saving diplomats and the queen from various terroristic threats. So she is pretty embarrassed, actually, by Ron
mm.
waving his coupon book around, and also by him demanding a coloring book and crayons and asking Kim not to use
Okay.
big words because they need to sound like 12-year-olds to get this free meal. So, I mean, yeah, okay, at a certain point, I could see why Kim was a little embarrassed and annoyed and
Uh-huh.
upset by this. But this also made me wonder, does this mean that Kim and Ron work for free? Or does just Ron work for, okay, is this what you were
Here's
getting to?
what my thought was Kim,
Yeah,
you thought he could afford this? Don't you pay him?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah. But then my question, and we'll expand on Kim's side of this in a minute,
yeah.
because my next question is, or maybe just do all three of them work for free? Does just Ron work for free? Or do Ron and Kim work for free and
And
Wade is
Wade,
actually keeping all, you see his bedroom,
I'm
you
telling
see
you,
all that
Wade is
high-tech
going to be a
equipment.
billionaire evil genius one day. This is his origin
Yes,
story. We've talked about
he
this.
is on his way. Because I'm like, somehow one or both of Ron and Kim are not getting paid. And
Yeah,
again, we'll
someone
talk more about
here.
Kim in a second, but
Yeah.
someone here is not getting paid.
Yeah.
And that to me does not seem right because the things that these
Yes.
kids are doing, not only is it bad enough for them to be painted as mercenaries in this show, but as like child slave labor too. Are we really
Yeah,
going to
yeah, then
go
it goes
there?
into that territory.
Are we going to go there?
Although
I
I
guess we're
do
going there.
wonder,
So
I guess we've already gone there. We've done
we're
seven
already there.
episodes. We're
Guess
already
we're
there.
here.
Well, because I wonder, like, is this why they all hire her first? Because it's free? They're like, well, we might as well give the free one a shot. What's the worst that's going
Yeah.
to happen? Some kids
If it
die?
doesn't work, yeah. If it,
Then we'll hire them. Then
exactly,
we'll
the
hire the
queen
real
dies. Oh
mercenaries.
well. Yeah.
But
Like, well,
also,
at
even if
least we
one
didn't lose out money though.
Yeah, even if one or both scenarios of who's getting paid is true, Kim should still know that Ron doesn't get paid.
Yeah, exactly. So
Whether
she
she's
shouldn't
also
be
not
like
getting
offended by
paid,
this.
yeah, like she should not be surprised by this at all
Yeah.
in any
Yeah,
way,
she
shape, or
should know his
form.
finances. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, what are you guys doing at like the fanciest restaurant in town? Go to
Yeah.
frickin' what's the burrito restaurant called?
I
I
can't remember the
forget.
name
Like
of
go,
it, but
yeah,
go there.
go there or go get a burger, go get pizza. Why
Yeah.
like again, I don't know, but yes, the main takeaway from this whole scene and this whole ordeal for me, and I'm glad for you too,
Hmm.
is are they not getting paid for their mercenary services? Because that opens a
Yeah.
whole other can of worms that I don't think Disney was ready to
No, but they set
address.
themselves up for it.
They
They
did.
set
They
themselves up
did.
for
They should
the
have known
accusations.
that one day a 32-year-olds would be reviewing these
With
episodes in hindsight
scrutinize
with the
the
benefit
labor
of
laws
more
here.
wisdom and real world experience.
And you know what? We
Anyways,
have questions.
exactly. And let that be a note to all current writers of animated shows. You're not
Think through
safe
your
in like
plot
10, 20
holes.
years. Exactly. Think through it.
Okay.
Someone else may be podcasting about you in the future.
Right,
So,
and they're gonna clock it. We know how mercenaries work.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
The whole
mm-hmm.
point is to get paid.
Exactly. That's their driving force. It's like, really,
Yes.
you think Kim's just doing this because she's got a good heart? Really?
No,
Really?
no,
No,
absolutely not.
please.
Ron,
Now,
maybe.
Wade, yeah, I was like, well, Ron, sure. Wade, obviously not, because he is the
Absolutely
one
not.
taking all the money. Yeah, now
Yes.
Wade is easy to
And
figure
whether
out.
he's giving some to Kim or not, unclear, but at the very
Yeah.
least, or at the very least, Wade is like siphoning money illegally. Even if these people think they're doing it for free, Wade is somehow getting money for sure.
He's getting money. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whether they know they're
Honestly.
giving him money or not is the question.
Or, yeah, I mean, whenever the mission is to like, say my last episode where they had to protect that synthoplasma or whatever. Wade's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, sure, we'll do it. Because he knows he's getting a bit of that synthoplasma too. And he's like, oh yeah,
Yes.
getting some of that. So like every mission he takes,
He gets
whether it's like
something
their
back.
IP, like their coding software, some sacred hard drive with data on it. He's like,
Those,
oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get
I'm
something.
gonna get paid.
Yeah. I don't
You
see
got to
any
be
other way how
creative.
like I don't see any other way how like 15-year-old could have all these things that he could have, even if he's a genius, which I believe he is.
Yes, he
Like,
definitely is. And that's why we know this is how he's working the
yeah,
deals because he's a genius.
exactly.
He's like, money isn't the only thing that talks, honey. We got some other options here.
You think money's valuable? Imagine data and information.
Right. You know, it's the
This is
most
the new
valuable
age of the
knowledge.
economy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
information makes the world go round,
Information.
baby.
Boom.
Honestly,
So,
I love Wade more
anyways,
because of this.
me too. Like he is easily him and Rufus clearly tied now for favorite
Yep,
character. And that's saying something because the love for Rufus is
it's
very,
deep.
very strong.
Yep.
So, anyways, Kim back at the mall now, she was spilling this tea with Monique about the date the
Mm.
night before. And Monique is like looking at him like, man, not looking at Ron because he's not there, thankfully, but she's like, this broke boy, like, what is he doing? Again, paraphrasing, but that's the whole vibe.
Uh-huh.
Basically, she's saying, like, was he waving that coupon book around? Let me guess, no real money exchanged hands, did or changed hands, did it?
She
Like
knows
this
him.
kid, she knows. She's like, Ron, he needs to start looking for a job so he can afford to date you, Kim. But she also says that the best way for Ron to start looking for a job is for
Mhm.
Kim to set an example for Ron.
Wow,
So
Monique
Monique's
fucking
like,
calling them out.
like left, right, center, like no one is safe.
Damn.
Monique, if she's your best friend, you're gonna get it the worst from her,
You know
actually,
what?
because that's how
It's
it should be.
2007. Women can be the breadwinners too, and she's letting Kim
Hmm.
know.
She's letting her know. And so she tells Kim that if Kim gets a job, then Ron, he'll clearly understand that he also needs one. So Monique then takes this opportunity to actually offer Kim a job where Monique works at a
Oh,
store called Club Banana at the mall, which
okay.
basically it's like a Hollister or PacSun type looking
Oh,
thing,
okay.
like preppy beach type
Classic.
wear and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. Yes. And so Kim hesitates at first, like, I don't know, like I kind of have this whole mercenary business that is kind of
Mm,
taking up my time and I'm not getting paid for apparently.
maybe,
But
yeah.
as soon as Monique mentions that there's an employee discount for Club Banana,
Oh,
Kim's like, oh, hell yeah, I'm in.
speaking
Like,
her
let's go.
language.
But my theory here is that Monique is going to get some sort of referral bonus or something.
Yes, I mean, especially at those stores, recruit other
Yeah,
teenagers to work here for less than minimum wage, at minimum wage at most.
exactly.
Be
Exactly. Sure, here's
miserable.
$200 and a $50 gift card for you.
That's pure gold
Thanks.
for
For
teenagers.
17, 18, exactly, 18
Yep.
year old. Yep. And I feel like Monique is wise enough financially and everything to be like, oh
Oh,
wait, I know how to milk extra money out of this
yeah, exactly.
situation
She'll make this
for
work.
the benefit of all of us though, right? Like Kim
Monique is
does need
running
a
an
job.
MLM.
Exactly. Kim is next gonna recruit Ron. Ron
Uh,
will recruit
she just
Rufus,
told
blah,
her
blah,
to recruit
blah.
Ron.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
exactly. And all of those referrals technically go back to
Go to
Monique.
Monique. Exactly.
So
She's smart.
I don't know. So a little bit later, now in the food court, or actually, okay, but this before I go there, because that is what just
Yes.
reminded me too. Kim so graciously accepting that job offer is what made me realize, oh wait, she might not be getting paid either
Oh,
then
yeah.
for the mercenary
Yeah, that
shit.
could be
Because
it.
if she
Otherwise,
was
she'd
getting
be like,
paid,
I'm fine.
exactly, exactly. I mean, it's one thing to set an example for Ron, but like, she could just talk with him and like be firm and say
Yeah.
something, or whatever. Like, she was pretty happy, especially when it came to the employee discount part. She was like pretty
Yeah.
happy to like take a coupon, I might add, technically a discount.
Interesting, Kim. Hmm.
Hmm. Anyways, so yes, now a little bit later, they're back in the food court. We see Monique and Kim hanging out. They're studying at a table, and Ron is also there flipping through his coupon book, trying to decide what to eat, which coupon in here is for
Uh-huh.
one of these restaurants in the food court. And Kim sees this as an opportunity to gently break it to Ron that maybe he should let go of these coupons. And Monique, on
Hmm.
top of that, is trying to tell Ron that coupons are basically just a scam, anyways. And she says that if those coupons
Hmm.
were for anything good, why would they be giving them away? Which, like, she kind of has a point here, or at least half of the point, because it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, the coupon can be for something good, but it's supposed to encourage you to buy more than what
Only
you
from
need.
them. Yeah.
Exactly, and only from them. So it's like I see what you're saying, Monique, but like,
Yeah.
no, there's good stuff that can be on sale.
Yeah.
It
We love a
happens.
good sale.
Yes. And again, in this economy, we have the benefit of
Right, this is
hindsight and
2007. Everyone's
maturity.
about to be couponing a year
Oh,
from now
I
in this
didn't even
universe.
think about that.
You know what?
Oh
All of
my
you guys are going to be
God.
calling Ron asking him how to coupon.
Oh my God. I did not even think about that. How about the timing of this episode?
And in
Because something that's
2025.
about to happen makes it even
Oh
funnier,
no. Okay.
actually, in just a moment here. So yeah, Monique's explaining that they're scams, and Ron, he doesn't really have time to counter her point or
Hmm.
a point to counter it with, for that
Mm.
matter.
Yeah.
And thankfully for him, the coupon talk is interrupted by Wade, who tells the gang that Shigo was mysteriously
Mm.
busted out of prison last night. And Kim assumes that Draken was too. But Wade's like, nope, only
Nah.
Shigo, which adds to the weirdness of this. Like they all kind of raise their eyebrows, like, really? But Ron does also say, really? Again? Which
Oh.
confuses me because I'm like, damn it, now I need to go and watch more episodes of this show because I'm
Yeah,
like, who else is in here
damn.
busting out Shigo? Was it Junior the last time they worked together?
Oh, that was the last
Also, what
caper.
happened the last time they worked together? I don't know. I need to watch this episode to
Yeah, I want to
see
find
and
that
to add to the
episode.
lore of their possible relationship.
Yes,
So,
100%.
anyways, Kim is like, okay, so who busted her out this time? And Wade is like, well, I'm still trying to get to the bottom of that, but I'll keep
Mm.
you posted when I find out. So Kim hangs up and tells Monique and Ron that she has to go and get to work, aka her new job at Club Banana.
Okay.
And Monique takes this opportunity to tell Ron, like, yeah, Ron, she's a working girl now. She's got a job and she starts today. And she tries to persuade Ron by telling him that if he had a job, he'd have some
Uh-huh.
money. So Monique is just taking this into her own hands,
I
which,
was about to
like,
say, also,
fine.
Monique, Kim didn't fill out a job application. Is she just taking your shift? Monique is like the hiring
From
manager here. Like
She's
she's the
HR.
manager of the
She's the store.
store.
She's the clerk. She's our
She's
marketing exec.
she's also like, I was supposed to go to work in 5 minutes, but now Kim is taking my
Kim
shift.
is. Exactly. I set the shifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Damn, Monique, damn.
so while Monique is trying to tell Ron about how great it would be if he had a job and had money, Ron is like not really hearing her because he is instead thinking of how a job to him means long hours, mean bosses, workplace injuries. The money thing, that doesn't work
Oh,
for him.
I guess he does
Which
get hurt a
also,
lot. Kim does
which
boss him around
also,
a lot.
I'm just gonna, it just dawned on me. And I'm like, is he
Uh-oh.
speaking from experience here?
Yeah.
Because that means he's either talking about Kim or Wade. So
Yeah, exactly. But either way, he's talking about Team Possible for
about
sure.
exactly. So, anyways, um, Monique, she's done pontificating at this point. She's done trying to convince Ron. It's not getting across to him that he needs money.
Mm.
But hilariously, Ron, at this moment, before Kim leaves to go to her job, he's like, "Oh, hey, Kim, by the way, can I borrow $5?" And Kim very calmly but savagely responds, "Why do you need money when you have coupons?" And she then gives him a nice little kiss on the cheek and says, "I gotta go," and leaves to
Damn.
go to work. Yeah. And Ron's
Damn.
just like, oh, like it's at this moment that he starts to think, like, wait,
I still need money.
yeah. But I have the coupon. So why don't, but give me the $5. So why can't, but which one is it? And
Yes.
so after Kim and Monique leave, Ron and Rufus continue to sit in the food court, flipping through the coupon book, attempting to find a coupon for some food.
Mm.
But the best one they can find is for like discounted chicken beaks or something like that, or
Oh.
chicken feet.
Mm.
So, not really what Ron has a taste for.
Yeah.
And they now realize, Ron and Rufus, that they've finally used up all of the good coupons in this book.
Oh, okay.
And he now starts to realize that having money maybe would be a good idea. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, that's what Monique and Kim were trying to explain to me.
Got
I get it
it.
now. I get it. I just needed to be hungry and on the brink of starvation
Classic.
to actually understand.
To think clearly
And so
suddenly.
he admits to Rufus that it's time for him to get a job.
Damn.
And this is where the whole idea of this being right before the recession is just ironically hilarious
Okay, let's hear it.
because Ron is like, oh man, if only I could find a job though. And he looks up in the food court and in the mall, and literally every store has a
Is
now
that right?
hiring sign.
Oh no.
Like there's hiring signs everywhere, taking up the entire screen. And I
Oh
was like,
man.
oh no. So yeah, you calling that out to me, I just had a moment where I was like, oh, that makes that joke so much sadder now because
That truly.
a few months after this episode came
There,
out, yikes, those signs all went away,
yeah,
sadly.
everyone's losing those new jobs.
Yeah, those malls went away. Not
Yeah,
even just
straight up.
the hiring signs
Yeah,
of
the
them, but the malls
store went away.
themselves. Yeah. So yeah, Ron, he's lazy though. He sees all these places hiring and he's just like, all right, first place, like what's the closest place to me? And so he
Mhm.
literally applies for a job at a pickle stand in the mall's food court because it
Mhm.
was like right there when he looked up. Which okay, fine, good for him. He's making progress. He's
Yeah.
trying to be a better man. So yes, good for Ron. He's happy. We're happy.
Okay.
And he is so happy, in fact, that shortly after landing the job, he runs over to Club Banana to tell Kim and Monique. And
Uh-huh.
he's in like his full pickle costume that he has to
Oh, is it like
wear.
he's dressed like a pickle?
Yes, basically think Gene Belcher or any of the Belchers in
Yes.
that episode of Bob's
Yes.
Burgers. Yeah.
Good.
Slightly better
Amazing.
made costume, I assume, because it wasn't
But
made by Linda in like 2 hours.
yeah,
But yes, yes.
amazing.
So the celebration, though, of Ron's new job is interrupted by Wade calling back to Kim on the communicator and telling her that he's got eyes on Shigo and Junior in San Francisco. So
Okay.
now Kim's like, so Junior is the one that broke Shigo out? What the hell are they doing together? Like, this can't be
Yeah.
good. And Wade explains to them that they're probably going to steal the Tome of Treachery from this exhibition on the history of villainy at this museum in San Francisco. Which, like, when he says this, I'm just like, man, Wade is so good at his
I was
job.
so
He
specific.
clocked them. He clocked them to a T.
Like Wade, as we know, hacks into like government computers and stuff.
Yes.
He's bugged all of the computers at
For
senior's
sure.
lair. He like was
Yeah.
watching the room when Shigo
Hmm.
and Junior were discussing this, and he just needed the opportune time to reveal it to Kim.
Exactly.
Like
He's like,
he's
I'll give her some time. I got to make them think that I work for it a little bit, you know? I don't want
yeah.
them to think my job is this easy. And also, I have to go bring my mom brunch real quick or something. My mom needs me to go clean something.
I'll
So
call
let me
them
go do that for her.
afterwards.
Exactly. So, yes, they are going to San Francisco to go and
Ooh,
stop this crime.
fun. Okay.
Hmm. And now, anyone who has been to San Francisco or any ridiculously densely populated city knows it ain't easy to park a car in San
Oh
Francisco.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
Driving on those roads can be a headache. The traffic is
Yeah.
unbearable. So we see Shigo driving, of course, a red convertible with the top down,
Nice.
with
Nice.
Junior in the passenger seat.
Style.
And they are driving around the block of this museum over and over
Villains. They're
again,
just like us.
just like us,
Just like
you
us.
know, except for her hair and perfect makeup all the time. She's just like us,
Just like us.
just like us. Because, yeah, she's saying they've gone around the block 3 times and still can't find a parking spot. And she's like, why is nobody leaving? Why won't people just leave? And Junior's like, I don't remember there being this many cars on the map when I looked at
On the
it.
map.
And she goes just ignoring him, like, you know what? I'm just going to get out of the car. I'll run in. I'll steal this tome of treachery and some of those
Yeah.
other artifacts. You stay here with the car. I'll be right
We'll
back.
leave it running.
Hmm. And yeah, at first, Junior is a little sad about this, like, but you said this was our caper, like this was supposed to be our caper
Mm.
together. We're supposed to do this together. And she goes like, no, no, we are gonna do it together. Like, I'm gonna go in and you'll stay here. But she
Someone
should have
needs to
just said
wash the
like,
car.
exactly. She should have said like, you'll be our getaway driver. You're playing a crucial role
Mhm.
in this. But he eventually is just like, okay, what I think she just like bats her eyes at him,
Uh,
and he is like, okay, that's fine. Yeah,
okay, sounds
I'll wait
good.
here. That's cool. That's cool.
Good, good.
So she gets out of out of the car and starts to get to the museum. But sadly, Grace, for you, I know I built up the hype of this being a museum heist.
What?
She doesn't even get inside of the museum because
What?
Kim blocks her.
Kim
Oh yeah.
ruined this episode for me.
Kim, bitch, how
I'm
dare
mad at
you?
Kim now. Fight in the
Yeah.
museum.
Go in the museum and fight. Go throw artifacts at each other.
Come
Go
on, ruin
bust
some
holes in
history.
glass. Exactly. You know, you only got one shot. Do
Come
it.
on.
So, yeah, before Shigo can even get to the door of the museum, Kim's standing there on the sidewalk, just staring her down.
Damn it.
And Shigo is pretty shocked to see her there already. But Kim just says to Shigo, you're predictable.
All right, I'm back on Kim's side. I'm not mad at her anymore. Damn.
For a
Especially
wild card
someone
in
like
hothead like
Shigo.
Shigo, that's a
That's
killer blow.
I was gonna say that's a death wish.
That was that was literally, I don't think you could say anything more offensive to Shigo because
Literally,
yeah,
you hear
and
like
Shigo realizes this.
Junior and
Yeah.
Ron both in the background go, a pin
Random
drops.
pedestrian on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
like, oh
Scurries
shit.
away.
Yeah. So yeah, Shigo clearly does not like this. She
Mm,
immediately attacks Kim after she gets
yeah,
called
yeah.
unpredictable right on the sidewalk of this very busy street.
Which
As I
is
said, remember they
pretty predictable of her to attack Kim based on that statement.
kind of true,
She's
also
letting
true. The
she's living up to
unpredictable
it.
thing would be for Shigo to say, you know what, you're right, Kim. I need to learn better and be better and
Yes,
learn
in
from my
that case,
mistakes.
Kim would have panicked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's not predictable.
No.
So, yeah, they're on the middle of this sidewalk on this very busy street, and they're just fighting right there in front of everyone. That's how
Yeah.
pissed off Shigo is at all of this. And as they're fighting, we see Ron driving by in their car, which we'll talk
Uh,
about Kim's car in a second, hilariously, like with the window down, saying, Kim, I'm having some trouble parking.
Quiet, honey. The women are fighting. The women are kicking ass. Stay in the car.
We're busy, okay? Yeah, you men just go, you stay in the
Keep
car, we'll
circling.
go in. And exactly. But
We're taking care of
hilariously, Ron
business.
saying this, it makes Shigo and Kim momentarily stop their fighting, like they're blocking each other, and then they just like
Uh-huh.
stop and look at Ron and look at each other, like, yeah, what is the matter with this city? Like, San Francisco, am I
Am
right?
I
And then they
right,
go back to kicking each
ladies?
other's
That's
asses.
so funny. Amazing.
So, a quick note on that car that I
Oh,
mentioned. So,
yes.
like I said, this is season 4 now. Kim and Ron are like 17 or 18 years
Yeah,
old.
they can
I think they're
drive.
seniors in high school. They can drive.
Mm,
And at some point, after Kim gets her driver's license, her dad, apparently, according to like the Disney Wiki fandom page
yeah.
or whatever, her dad gave her an old beat up car to use.
Okay.
And she had the twins, Jim and Tim, her twin brothers, who, like you mentioned in the first episode, are like basically geniuses, like
Uh-huh.
engineering and mechanical geniuses. She had the twins and Wade probably also trick the car out and like turn it into a full-on spy mobile.
A classic
So
Pimp My Ride.
my ride, if you will. Yes. And it's like I think it's like a pinkish purpley kind of color, more
Uh-huh.
so pink. It's like a sedan. Like from first glance, it's nothing really crazy. It's
Special.
just a
Yeah.
pink sedan. Yeah. But then as they're chasing down like Draken, or not Draken, sorry, Shigo and Junior through San
Mm,
Francisco, you see all of these new like spy gadgets starting to fly out of it and
cool.
everything, like, rockets and springs and everything, whatever.
Got the
Typical, whatever
works.
your cartoon imagination could
A
imagine
spy
or could
car.
come up
It's
with.
what's happening.
Exactly.
Cool.
So, anyways, she makes a break for it during this fight. She hops back into the convertible with Junior and she tells him to get the fuck out of there. Like, just step on it. We gotta go.
Uh-huh.
Kim likewise hops into her car and tells Ron to follow after them.
Mm.
And just also another note that I love the character development over the course of this series because not
That Ron
only,
can
like I
drive.
said, do we see Ron and Kim dating, but yeah, we see them both as fully capable drivers now. And it hits
Oh, especially
specifically
Ron.
hard for us. Yes, because, and for Ron, yes, because we covered the episode from like
Hmm.
season 2 or whatever, where they're first learning to drive and how, especially Ron, like you said,
Yeah. Oh, that's so
could not do it for the
nice.
freaking life of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had a moment watching this
Oh,
where it's
what a
like
lovely
it's
full
like your little
circle.
cousin that you watch growing up or something, and then you step away, like you go to college for like 4 years or something, and you
Yeah.
come back and your cousin's all grown
It's
up,
all
and you're
grown
like,
up. They're
what
going to college
happened? It's so
now.
cute. Yeah,
I
exactly.
love
So it was
that.
adorable. Anywho, so Junior and Chigo, they're driving through San Francisco
Mm.
trying to get away from Kim and Ron, and they make their way straight to the docks along the bay. And they ditch the car on these docks. They hop on some jet skis that, of course, Junior has waiting there for him.
Mm.
And they ride off into the sunset together very adorably.
This is definitely a date.
This is a date. This is the nice, longest second date ever. It's like
Truly. Yeah, you guys have to travel the
2 or 3
world
whole days
to get
long.
here.
We're gonna go on a nice helicopter ride. We're gonna go to a museum. We're gonna go for a convertible top-down drive through the
Oh, we're gonna
city of
ride
San
off into the
Francisco. Gonna
sunset.
go exactly ride jet skis to the
And you know
sunset.
what,
It's gonna be the
Shigo?
most
You'll
romantic
be able to
date
beat
ever.
someone up too.
Yeah,
I know that's her perfect
exactly.
first date.
Junior's such a romantic. He's like, I made
You
sure
set
that
it
we
all
did
up.
something crazy enough that Kim would find us so that you could actually
You
beat
beat
her up
her
too.
up. You're
Yeah, that's
welcome.
true love. So, yes, as they get on the water and they're going off on their jet skis,
Mhm.
Kim and Ron, they come to a screeching halt on this dock in Kim's car. And Kim very quickly and rushedly calls Wade and tells him to patch her through to the Tweebs, the Tim and Jim, her twin brothers.
Uh-huh.
And Tim and Jim are at home playing video games, but their game is interrupted when Kim appears on their TV screen
Oh.
in a like pretty staticky video feed that's kind of like
Uh-huh.
cutting in and cutting out. And Kim asks the boys if they happen to add aquatic capability to her car. And the
Oh.
boys are like equally startled by her just appearing on the screen, and
Uh-huh.
also like the audio is pretty cracking and everything
Mm.
crackly. So they just kind of look at each other, kind of confused, like, sure, and shrugging their shoulders.
That's not
And
a helpful
that's
response.
and now if I were Kim or Ron, I would be like, that's not how you answer that question. I
Right.
would
Am I
not
gonna
have
drown or
done
not?
exactly. And Kim, though, she takes this as an affirmative. She knows her brothers. They're annoying. They joke around. They dick around a lot. She's probably like,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. Yeah, they're just messing with us. So she looks at Ron and tells him, all right, Ron, hit it. Follow Shigo and Junior.
Okay.
But as soon as the car is off the docks, it just immediately falls down into the water and starts to sink. And Ron's like, okay, which button do I press? Now what do I do?
What do I
And Jim
do?
and Tim are like, button for what? Kim says, for the aquatic capability I just asked you about. And the boys say, oh, we thought you said, could we add aquatic capability? Not did we add it?
That's a very key word.
It
Could
is
or
the
did.
operative word. And Ron
Yeah.
agrees. He's like, oh, I could see how they got that mixed up, though. The feed's not that great. And they're just sinking to the bottom
About
of
to
the
drown.
bay.
Good.
Yeah,
Perfect. Great.
great. So, meanwhile, Shigo and Junior, they have fully escaped and they have
Yeah.
returned to naturally, since Ron and Kim are at the bottom of the bay.
Yeah.
Um, and they have naturally returned to the mansion on the island.
Mm.
And Shigo, she's super pissed off at Kim right now. Like she storms back into this lair,
Yeah, she got
fists
insulted.
clench. I think that whole predictable comment really got to
That
her
cut deep.
because she is like, how the hell did Kim find us? How is she on our trail every single time? We need to find somewhere that she can't reach us. Go
Cut
ahead.
to Wade just he's always slurping his soda like at the bottom, just like
Watching, like eating
jingling the
popcorn,
like ice like it's an iced fucking coffee. Just
massive full screen, just watching them. Perfect audio, like tapped in and
yeah.
everything. Like
He's got his little Slurpee
loving it.
slurping away.
Exactly. Exactly. So Junior says that he thinks he knows of somewhere they can go where Kim cannot reach them. It's like, maybe we just need to go somewhere where Kim can't find us.
Just the
I
two
was
of
like,
us, maybe.
oh, Junior, go on.
Junior.
You don't say.
Junior.
And you'll like this, and perhaps you'll agree. It's very fresh in your memory. So he says we'll go somewhere up a mountain, over a perilous rope bridge, and then past a bunch of booby traps, which mostly two-thirds sounds, well, no, the mountain part sounds romantic. But he says not only, no, he doesn't say it's romantic, but I say not only is this romantic, but he then says it is also the location of an ancient Peruvian, aka pre-Incan,
Oh.
antique llama statue slash idol of sorts,
Oh.
which Junior says will be the perfect priceless paperweight that will look fabulous on his father's desk.
Damn,
A
he's getting a
paperweight, this
lot of
idol.
presents
He is,
for his
not
dad.
only is the caper the present in and of itself, but the tome would have also been the present if they got
Oh,
it.
I guess
The
they didn't get the
paperweight,
tome, so they
yeah,
need to get
they
this
didn't.
instead. Okay.
But, they might circle back and see if they can get it later.
Yeah,
Who
they just gotta
knows?
throw Kim off for a
Yeah,
little bit. The
yeah.
mountain air, we could bring a small picnic, maybe some
Hmm.
mimosas. I don't know, just throwing
Exactly.
evil ideas out there.
Even ideas. Maybe spot the wildlife and, just a
I'll bring
few
a nice
things, pick some
blanket for
flowers.
us so we don't get
Yeah.
chilly up there. I
I
don't know, just an
knitted the
idea.
sweater for you, or we can just
Yeah.
like cuddle to stay warm, if we do get chilly. But just
We'll
saying, it's
evilly
where
cuddle
Kim won't
though.
find us. Yeah,
Yeah. She'll think there if we're
malevolent cuddling.
separate, it'll be two of us, which will mean it's the two of us there. But if we
Hmm.
just look like one because we're cuddling, She'll just pass
She'll
us
just think we're
by.
one big person.
Don't even
Exactly. She won't
know.
want to interrupt two lovers enjoying time
Oh, she
on
would
the
never,
mountain
never.
hike.
Evilly
Exactly.
enjoying
Kim's got
time,
some
though, for
sense.
sure. That's it.
Evilly. Exactly. Exactly. This is malevolent romance. So, the next day, back at the mall, Kim, she's hard at work again with Monique at Club Banana.
Mm,
And Ron stops in to say hello on his way out to his job. But he's now dressed rather than in that pickle suit, he's
mm.
dressed up in safari gear.
Okay.
And Ron is like, yeah, that pickle gig it already fell through. Sorry, guy. Like they asked him, like, that's not what you had on yesterday. And he's like, yeah, I totally already fucked up. Like, and we just see a cut scene
Because the
of
recession
him.
is coming. That's actually why. I know we have a
Ron
cut
caused
scene,
it.
but I like to think
Yeah.
that we're already
Yeah.
starting to see the effects of the recession.
Exactly. The recession, exactly. These businesses are closing down. They can't pay their loans, their mortgages. These shop doors are closing. The pickles are not safe.
Nope.
So, no, we see a cutscene of him just like I don't even know how he does it, but he basically unleashes that tons and tons, literally metric tons of pickle brine
Oh God.
into the food court. So like
Oh
to the
no.
point where it looks like a tsunami of pickle brine has taken over the
Ew.
mall. Yeah. Also,
Ugh.
like yum in a way because I love pickles, but also like it'd be so sticky and
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
it's acidic and it would hurt to a
Yeah.
certain degree. So, anyways, he now says that he found a job at the zoo working as a lion feeder.
Oh. Didn't use the qualifications
What?
for that.
That's not a normal job transition to you, Grace? You've never heard of that before? Teenage
Here's the
boy goes
thing.
from pickle store counter to tamer at the
I'm
zoo.
just jealous because I never got opportunities like this. That's it. I'm
True. You know,
projecting right
we grew
now.
up at the wrong time. We were
I
too
guess
busy
so.
being in, 11th or 12th grade to
I
be
know. God, I don't know,
lion
2007,
tamers at the
barely
zoo.
starting high school.
Yeah,
You had to be at
exactly.
least 17 to be a lion feeder, I guess. And after
Exactly.
once we were 17, the recession already happened. They had to clamp
Yeah.
down on those lion feeder
Cut all those
jobs.
lines. They stopped feeding them. So, yeah,
The lion feeders actually just became the food.
came the food. Yeah. Like, this is actually the best way for us to save money. Not only do we not have to pay you your
But we're also
salary,
getting the
but we also don't
food.
have to pay for lion food.
It's
Yeah.
win-win.
So, this job, as you can imagine, lasts just as long as, if not shorter than the pickle gig did for
Oh
Ron.
no. Yeah.
As that same night, we see Ron at Kim's house, bruised, scratched, clothes ripped and tattered, complaining about how dangerous and absolutely ridiculous that job was. Although
Yeah.
he does admit that he did miss the orientation and he tried to feed the lion raw meat that he brought from home, yada, yada, yada. But that's like so dangerous.
Yada
No one
yada
should be
yada.
doing that job. And unfortunately, Kim already knew that Ron fucked up the job before he even explained it to her. So, like, yeah, she does not have a high bar set for this dude, but she asks him
Yeah.
as soon as he's there and he's like all tattered up and stuff. She asks him, like, are you sure it's not something you did, Ron? Like, are
Damn.
you sure? Yeah, which
Ron's like, "Are you not
not gonna
watching the
lie,
markets, Kim? It's on the
this shit's
horizon.
all
I know
about to
it."
crash. Everybody's laying off employees left and right. Nobody's safe. Okay. It's not just the fact that I
Kim,
fed
read
the
a
lion steak
newspaper.
from home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up a newspaper, which we know she does not do after that one episode where the dude read about her in the
Yeah, she
newspaper
had
or
no
whatever.
idea.
Yeah. She was like, what? You read about
What?
me in the
Me?
news? What? Yeah, Kim,
Newspaper.
pick one up. You're in it all the time. Um, Anyways, so their conversation or argument is again interrupted by Wade, who has triangulated, of course, triangulated, aka he's just been watching them the
New.
whole time.
Yeah.
Chico and Junior's location. And he tells Kim and Ron that they're deep in the mountains of South America, aka
Mm.
that's your next location. And so in South America, in Peru, I believe, we see Shigo and Junior in this cave, ready to steal this llama idol.
Cool.
There's only one thing wrong about this newly discovered artifact. This idol will not fit on Senior's desk because the idol
No.
has got to be like more than 30 feet tall and 10
Oh,
feet
oh
wide.
shit. Damn,
And
okay.
she goes like, listen, I know you guys own a private island, but I don't think this will fit on your dad's desk. And it like pans out and you see how big it is. And Junior's like, it looked a lot smaller on the computer.
When I looked at the map, just like the cars, it was
Yeah.
a little
I
dot.
didn't see the car on the map. It looked a lot smaller on the map. I don't know. Yeah. So she just kind of rolls her eyes at this. I think she still is planning on stealing the thing somehow,
Yeah, just not
but
for them.
yet again, exactly. It won't be a paperweight, but like they're
Junior's
gonna leave with
like,
something.
ah, I'm so sorry I brought us here, but look at this cave. Is that the sunset again?
He like
Pop.
holds
Oh, is
her
this
sort of like head
champagne?
right where she can see it. Like,
Yeah.
yes. Would you like a mimosa?
Wow, isn't that so
Rolls out a
crazy?
blanket,
Like all of a sudden the
picnic
cave has
basket
a
on
bunch of
it.
like little like fairy lights around it, like string
Yeah.
lights. Like, oh, isn't that
Oh,
so crazy?
wow. It's so pretty. How beautiful is this? Wow, take a
Well,
seat. I'm a little hungry. Are you
we might as
hungry?
well strategize. Do you like charcuterie? A private
Yeah.
chef comes out.
Wheels it out. Yeah.
Wow, this is
Someone's like
so
tending a nice little
crazy.
campfire by them too to stay
Yeah.
warm. Like,
We might as
yeah.
well just
Yeah.
strategize here for a little bit. Just the two of
For
us
our
and my
next
entire
plot.
staff, right? No?
I don't mind them. They're paid to not listen. They won't hear anything we say or see. Wink, wink. So,
This is all still the second date,
yeah,
by the way. This is the longest second date
basically,
in the
yeah.
world.
Yeah, it's going well though, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they are still after this date planning on stealing this massive idol.
Mm.
But of course, Kim, she interrupts this romantic evening. And like I said, she's still pretty pissed off about that whole
She's
predictability.
ruining this date.
She's she's pissed.
Fucking
Yeah, not
Kim.
only are her dates being ruined, but she has faced the utmost of insults by Kim
In front of her date, no less.
in front of her date. And Kim continues with the savagery because what she says, the first thing she says to Shigo, before Shigo can even turn around to see her, we just hear Kim say from the entrance of this cave, Shigo, your makeup actually works well in this light.
Damn, Kim got 2 years older from the first season and
And a lot more badass,
and a lot more
a lot more
badass.
bold.
She's seen some shit in the last couple years.
Yeah, or she's taken down
Damn.
Shigo and Draken so many times now that she is like, I don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever I want to Shigo. I
Also,
dare
she's
her
like,
to
I
try
actually
me.
know how to take Shigo down, and it's emotionally,
Exactly. You got to
mentally,
get to her,
psychic
the
damage.
character.
Also,
Exactly.
again,
Psychic.
in front of the date.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
Mm-hmm.
Kim has
Yeah.
got a death
And
wish right
Junior,
now.
exactly. She's hanging on the thread here, hanging by a thread. Her
Damn.
chances are running out. Shigo will be nice maybe for a little bit, but this is like second or third time now, so
Yeah.
she's pissed. And of course, yeah, the beef is on site because before Kim can even finish that insult, she goes throwing hands. She's hurling
Yep.
herself at her. They're fighting. Junior hilariously is just trying to duck and get out of the way.
You're
Ron is
ruining my
pinned to a
date.
wall by booby traps that went off. Which
Yeah,
I feel like, did we
predictable.
say this in a past episode that our theory is that Kim just sends
Yeah, he's
Ron
the
into the
bait.
danger first? That's right,
Yes,
yeah. And
he's
let
always
all the
bait.
booby traps go off,
Uh-huh.
and then exactly she'll then easily walk in. But
Yep.
anyways, so as Junior is like trying to like hide and like get out of there, he's just kind of yelling, like, girl, stop it. It's not helping. The fighting isn't helping.
Why? What's with all the violence?
Stop. I'm just trying to have a nice date, which
Yeah,
I
you're
was like,
ruining it,
what a sweet
Kim.
boy and son. Yeah, not only are you
Junior
ruining his
really
dad's
is.
gift, but you're also ruining his date. He's just trying to have fun with
He doesn't want
Shigo. Kim keeps
violence.
coming in. Yeah. So Junior and Shigo, they hop on some getaway llamas that are parked outside of this cave and they book it out of there. But Kim and Ron chase after them in the car. That is
Mm.
until one of these llamas bites through one of the car tires,
Oh, damn.
leaving Kim and Ron immobile. Yeah, apparently they've got strong teeth, which I actually don't think is true. According to a llama expert that we know, I was discussing llamas with with her
Yeah, they just kind
recently,
of
and
graze.
she's like, that person should not be giving a llama a carrot because they actually don't have teeth and wouldn't be able to chew it that well, or something like that.
Damn,
So
I
I don't know,
mean,
maybe have to verify that, but
it makes sense. They're just out there
uh,
eating grass and
freaking
shrub.
llama expert. Exactly. So, anyways, though, this thing it tears through the tire one way or another. And yeah, the car is immobile. It's totally broken
Mm,
down now. And Shigo and Junior are able to leave home free, but empty-handed, unfortunately. They kind
mm.
of hard to get a 30-foot tall idol out by llama, especially when you're
Yeah,
being chased. So
some
I
logistic
kind of get
issues
it.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, Shigo, she loves freedom. She loves knowing that she can get away from a crime without being
Yes.
apprehended or arrested, but she loves succeeding in an evil plot even more.
Mm,
And also, like we've said, this is the point in the episode where I really started to think that she feels like she owes Junior here, both like as a friend and maybe
uh,
as more, since he
mm.
did break her out after all, and
Yeah, that's kind of a
because
big
she's
deal.
starting yeah, and she's starting to actually sound like she wants to see him impress his father. Like, no, I
Oh,
want you to make your dad proud. Like, this is a really good idea, and we really need to do something special for your dad.
if
So, like,
not, he's gonna write you
trying
out
to
of the
win
will.
father-in-law's approval, also true.
Exactly.
Also true. Probably more
I
so
gotta
true the
get
will part.
in this will somehow too
Exactly.
after we get married. Like I gotta be in it.
Exactly.
Whatever it
So,
takes. This is gonna be my good first impression for your dad here.
exactly. So she's struggling to wrap her mind around a heist that can happen in a place where Kim could never reach or stop them. And she's mad, right? She's pacing this layer. Her
Uh-huh.
fists are clenched again. She looks like, honestly, she's about to start just like knocking shit off of counters. So she's
Wouldn't be
like angrily
surprised.
walking through here, trying to think about what they can do to get one over on Kim Possible and
Mm.
also to like get Senior a good birthday gift. She's
Uh-huh.
got a lot of motivation right now
A
for
lot
this to work.
happening.
All
Yeah.
right.
Complex.
And Junior hatches his best idea yet in
Okay.
response to Shigo's anger. It's almost like he's thinking overtime too, because he doesn't want to see his lady upset. So he's like, oh my God, I gotta just
He's being
I
a
gotta
good
fix all of
boo.
this. Exactly. And he tells Shigo, what if we didn't have to go anywhere at all? Like, you want to go somewhere where we can get there before Kim. What if we just made her come to us here or brought her
Oh.
here? And so he tells
Oh.
Shigo, what if we kidnapped the five richest people in the world and held them hostage slash, for ransom
They're already
right here
playing
on the
poker
island?
down the. Wait, really?
Bingo.
I was just making a joke,
Which
but
is
you
a
just.
bad pun for that reference, but yes,
Wait, that's so
because
funny. Okay.
yeah, I'm so glad you picked that up. Shigo scoffs at him, like, dude, we couldn't even steal a book. How are we going to steal the five richest people in the world? Do you have any
Uh-huh.
idea how much security we'd have to get through? And Junior, he's just sitting, behind his computer screen and on this big monitor. He starts
Mhm.
scrolling through things like, yeah, they're going to have self-activated lasers, an alligator pit, this thing, that thing, as he's like
Uh-huh.
scrolling through the pictures. And Shigo stops him and says, wait, what do you mean? And Junior, he says what you just said. He's like, my dad and his four best friends are the five
Yes.
richest people on earth. And they're all upstairs right freaking now playing their weekly game of poker.
Hell yeah. They're betting
And so
cities. They're betting countries in this game of poker.
countries, they're betting like full,
Militaries.
$500 million, yeah, stock portfolios. And Junior shows all of the profiles of these four other
Oh,
billionaires to Shigo. And this is when I was like, I fucking love these writers. I mean, this was the fourth
okay.
time I'm saying this because I've said it eighth time, I guess, because I've said it for
Yeah.
every episode we've covered. But the four billionaires are first, one, Papa Porter, who Junior
Okay.
describes as the frozen snack king. More on him in just a moment.
Okay.
Oren Dorr, the software czar, who
Okay.
physically is a
Warren.
cartoon of Bill Gates,
Interesting. Oh, okay. He's
which
a
it took me a
Warren
minute to
Buffett,
get
Bill
the
Gates.
name, but Dorr, Gates,
Oh my God,
yeah,
amazing. Oh, I thought they were
yeah.
doing a pun of Orin. Warren
Oh,
Buffett.
like Warren. It
Uh-huh.
could be a little bit of both. But
Either
then
way,
they also
amazing.
have what's her Paula, I forget her last name, how they pronounce it, but it's like Paula P of some sort,
Uh-huh.
who cartoon wise is Oprah Winfrey, literally. And she is the first lady of daytime television, as Junior describes.
Oh my God, this is so
And
good.
last but not least, we have a man by the name of Martin Smarty, who is described as the retail revolutionary and literally
Whoa,
100,000% looks just like Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
Just saying,
Damn. Wow, this is,
like literally dead on. And I just laughed. I was like, wait, was Bezos? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was a billionaire in 2007 already, but
but like wasn't like the
I guess
richest man in the world, but
I don't think so, but
they
it's
clocked
just
it.
funny that they clocked it. They clocked it. So we have Bill
Damn.
Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, and that the first man I mentioned, Papa
Yeah.
Porter. So that one to me, I was like, I don't know who that is. The other three, you can clearly see when you're watching it, like, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
obviously who that is. So I was like, let me do some quick research here
Yeah.
because I got to know who Papa Porter is. The frozen snack king? You kidding me? That's important. That's someone
Yeah, I
important.
gotta know who this is.
So I did some research and I came
Okay.
across an article from NBC News from December of
Ooh,
2006. So only a few months actually before
okay.
this episode came out. And I think that Papa Porter, based on this article, maybe is supposed to be based on a man named Gino Palucci, a
Okay.
frozen food mogul who owned the brands Michelina's and Budget Gourmet. I haven't heard of Michelina's,
Okay.
but I feel like I've seen Budget Gourmet in grocery stores before.
Uh-huh.
And the main reason why I think this is him is one, the name Paulucci, like, I don't know, P, Papa
Yeah, Papa
Porter, Paul,
Porter.
whatever.
Yeah.
But also just because the real life guy kind of looks a lot like the guy in the
Oh
cartoon.
my God.
And like frozen food, I feel like that would be too much of a coincidence. So
Yeah, that's so specific. That's way too specific to not be him.
exactly. And I just now have to go on a tangent to make the long episode even longer about
About
this
this
guy
man?
because this
Okay.
one episode or this one article, I mean, made me really appreciate this Gino Palucci guy, let me tell you. And I don't say that about
Okay.
most billionaires, let me say. So
I know, I'm
I was
shocked.
reading this.
Tell me about him.
This man, he was 88 in 2006 and
Okay.
has likely, sadly, by now passed
Yeah.
away. Yes, I said sadly, because get a load of this. He
Damn.
was born 3 decades before anyone had a home microwave. So 30 years before home
Okay.
microwaves even existed, yet made a fortune producing meals for now, like for microwave meals,
Yeah.
basically. Like that's what made him rich. That's what made him famous. He was born before the microwave and yet revolutionized cooking through the
Uh-huh.
microwave.
Okay.
So he grew up, really like rural kind of, I guess it's called the Iron Range, cold Iron Range. I want to say it
Uh-huh.
was like upstate, like Nebraska or one of those cold ass upper Midwestern states, but he
Uh-huh.
was the son of an immigrant miner. And he was
Okay.
consistently teased for his Italian heritage.
Okay.
And he was quoted in this article as saying, I used to get into fights. I used to just beat up any kid I could as long as I got the first hit into them,
Damn.
which like, damn.
You know?
And he said, I guess that's carried through my life, and that's why I'm so litigious. It isn't that I want to prove myself as much as it is I want to get even with the other guy. At age 88, you'd think I'd
Well,
get over the thing.
all right, he
I
holds
was
a
like,
grudge. You know
I was like,
what?
Gino, Papa
Self-aware.
Palucci,
Papa
tell me.
Palucci is a self-aware king.
But it gets better. Palucci is 5'4".
Oh, Papa Palucci.
Yeah. And rough
Oh.
spoken with what this article described as a sandpaper voice, but he sure holds a grudge. He started a pie filling company in 1950
Mhm.
specifically to drive a former business partner bankrupt. He lost
Damn.
money. He lost money selling this pie filling at very
Just to
low
fuck the other
cost,
person.
but it forced his competitor to do the same thing until they went out of business.
Oh my God.
And
Well, Papa Palucci.
you guys are like, Alexis, you like this guy?
Yeah,
He
I
sounds
got
like an
questions.
asshole. And I was like, I know he's an asshole, but this is where it starts to turn around. Because I was
Okay.
like, everybody kind of just needs like that asshole friend who will like, who's the wild card and will do whatever just to like
And
prove a point.
I will
Yeah.
say, at least via this impression, my first impression ever of Papa Bellucci here is he's not acting like he's a good billionaire. He's not being
Yes,
like, oh yeah, I created a foundation that's actually just for like me to
exactly.
avoid all my taxes, et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, no,
Hmm.
fuck them. I'm gonna take them down. I'm gonna ruin them. Unlike, yeah, like Bezos being
Precisely.
like, Amazon is just helping people get what they need sooner.
Exactly. Exactly.
This
We'll
fucking
give you an
corporation.
empty bottle to pee in as you're working on
Yeah.
assembly lines. That's how much
Right.
we care about
Versus it sounds
you.
like Papa Palucci is like, well, you shouldn't have drank water then if you gotta pee. And I'll let the newspapers know. I'll let the media know.
Oh, au contraire, you had me in the first half with that statement, but no. In fact, for a businessman, Palucci had very unconventional ideas about labor. He was stridently pro-union and thought that the country was long overdue for a minimum wage increase. And this was in 2006, which was 2 years before the last minimum wage increase that
Oh
this
my
country has
God.
seen, raising it to the wonderful price of or wage of, I think, $7.25 in
Yep.
2009 under Obama. But yeah, so this was a couple of
Wow.
years before then. Yeah, so Palucci is out here saying, no, we need more unions. No, we need
Are
fair collective bargaining. No, we need our workers to make more money. And one last thing before you say what you're going to say, he made it a practice of hiring convicted criminals and the disabled to his company. Boom. So
are
sorry. Go ahead now
are
and say what you're going to say.
should we start calling him Big Papa?
Big Papa Palucci?
Is this Big
Is
Papa
that you?
Palucci? Would he love it if we
Yeah.
called him Big Papa?
I think he would.
Oh my
I think he
God.
would. And if members of people from his family are alive, I don't know. Let us know maybe, but we're gonna call him Big Papa. I mean,
Sponsor us. We love
exactly,
your grandpa.
exactly. Yeah. So, oh man, it gets better though.
Wow.
He then also went on to say that he believed businesses should give up to 5% of pre-tax projects for community projects. And those who make more than
Hmm.
$100,000 a year should pay at least an extra percent or two in
Ah,
taxes.
ah,
Hmm.
Big Papa
We need a voice
Palucci.
like this in our business community today, especially one who is as powerful as this guy
God.
was at the time. And so when Palucci was asked about retirement, because again, this article was written when he was like 88 years old.
Uh-huh.
So, word was spreading that he probably should retire soon or
Yeah.
sell off the companies one day. And Palucci said, other than being with my wife, Lois, I've got nothing to do. Relaxing makes me nervous. I used to play golf once in a while, but then I thought, what the hell? Chasing a little white ball around is crazy. I just don't have anything else to do. I've got some friends, yes, but I love working. To me, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a boss who actually likes to work,
Oh
actually
my
likes to do his job,
God. He's
actually
not just
thought
off fucking
that
golfing.
his workers deserved more. Exactly. He actually
Ah,
hated golfing. He actually
this is
wanted
the
to be in
hero
the
of this
office
episode.
making his products better. Exactly. And
Sorry,
he's not even in
Kim.
the episode.
He is. He's in my heart in
Yeah.
this episode.
Because so that's the last bit about Papa Palucci. But I will say, alternatively, Papa Porter could be based on a man named Clarence Birdseye, who also kind of looks like Papa Porter
Mm.
and who was the creator of frozen packaged food, thus the brand Birdseye, which is pretty popular
Oh,
in
uh-huh.
stores today. But he passed away in 1956, which I think was before
Oh,
the writers of the show were born or aware of like
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So I doubt it was him, but he looks a lot like Papa Porter too. But we're going to say Gino
Mm.
Palucci is Papa
It's
Porter
Papa
in this
Bellucci
case
for sure.
because it's Papa Palucci. It's Big Papa
It's Big Papa
Palucci.
Bellucci,
Yeah.
baby. All the way.
So, anyways, that little tangent about an actual good billionaire, perhaps, to the side, can only dream.
That's why we can't have
Shigo,
nice things.
meanwhile, yes, Shigo, she starts to like what she's hearing about this whole plot from Junior about
Mm.
kidnapping the five richest people in the world. And she asks Junior about how long their poker games usually take. Junior
Hmm.
just says, well, sometimes it can take a day, sometimes a week, doesn't really matter as long as we make sure they keep playing until we get our ransom money. So
Yeah.
he's like, we can either distract them or we can just kind of like close the doors and they'll keep talking and we'll
Just keep
real
bringing
quick
them
make our
snickerdoodles.
calls. Exactly. And they'll never leave. And she goes damn near tearing up at this point. She's complimenting Junior like, that is the most perfect, sneaky, evil plan I've
Oh my God, she's
ever
in
heard,
love.
Junior. She's in love. Like, she would
This is
never
the
say this to
moment
anyone else.
people always say, like, when's the moment you knew that this was your person? Like, when's the moment you knew you were in love?
Yeah,
We're seeing it right now. Right
this
now
is
with
it for
Chico.
Shigo. Yeah. And so Junior, he's still seated right in front of his computer, and she stands real close behind him as he sits and starts pulling up a bunch of contact information for all of these billionaires' respective companies and whatnot, or
Mm.
their teams, their finance teams, whomever, their lawyers, whoever you got to call to like make a ransom for
Uh-huh.
somebody. And he starts dialing up numbers and starts putting in his demands to these different
Damn.
rich ass wealthy companies. Yeah. And so, meanwhile, back at the Middletown Mall, Ron and Kim are again pinged by Wade on the communicator,
Mm.
and Wade sends them a video of Junior and Chico, and which makes me laugh that you say that he's got like direct CCTV into their lair. But no, this is more of Junior's like calling card
Sending
videos
out, he
that he
loves a
does.
video calling
He
card.
loves it. He's like just making sure his hair looks good. He's posing for the camera. And so Wade shows Kim and Ron this video where Junior is saying that they've kidnapped the five richest people in the world. And if the people of the world want to see these billionaires safely returned home,
Mm.
they'll need to pay about $1 billion per billionaire
Damn.
as the ransom. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Kim asks Wade who the five richest people are, and we of course get the same list recited by Junior with
Hmm.
the addition of Senior, of course, added to that list.
Hmm.
And Ron immediately notices Martin Smarty on this list as, of
Hmm.
course, the founder of Smarty Mart, the retail entrepreneur or revolutionary, if you will.
Mm.
And Ron freaks out, saying that he's read a book about him 3 times now, his autobiography, and is
Whoa.
super impressed, yeah, by his work and his success story. And like you, Kim is surprised, like you read something that wasn't assigned to you
Yeah,
three
a comic
times.
book. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you must be really into this guy. But other than that, Kim basically like brushes him off, like, yeah, it's fine. Like, we're gonna save him. That's cool. Like,
Yeah.
calm down, because
Don't
Ron is like
worry.
super freaking out, like fanboying over this guy,
Yeah.
like the way that a lot of people do about Jeff Bezos, a lot of like, tech bros and all the finance bros did back in the day. So, anyways, Wade is like, hey, yeah, by the way, though, guys, the Tweebs are still working on your car. The Llama Bites
Mm.
really did a number on it. So
Oh,
you're
yeah,
going
I
to have to
forgot.
find another ride.
Okay.
And they're trying to figure out, like, well, how do we get to the private island? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
subtly.
Wade, somebody's got to be able to help us. But Wade's out of ideas. So Ron, he actually comes up with the plan. He
Okay.
waves that coupon book in front of Kim's face.
Uh-huh.
He flips that thing open and shows
He's
her
so
two
fucking smug.
coupons for, for one free parasailing lesson.
Eat
Kim
it,
rolls her
Kim.
eyes. Eat it. What are you going to do? Hmm.
Hmm.
Kim rolls her eyes, but she has no other choice at this point
Yep.
than to let Ron win this round, and they use the dreaded
Amazing.
coupon. So they parasail right onto this island,
Mm.
meaning that they absolutely just stole these parasails from wherever they got
Also,
them from. Because
like, they had to
who's
get to
letting like
Europe first. There's a lot of, like, they
yeah.
hold them hostage to make them, like, take them all the way to Europe. There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot. I don't know. Something tells me those coupons are not going to be honored though, based
No,
on all of this.
they're gonna have a lot of
Yeah,
money.
no instructor in sight. Yeah. So they get to the island though, and they're scaling the security fences and the walls around the mansion. And Ron is telling Kim all of these facts about Martin Smarty and how excited and hyped he is to see him. But it also makes Ron realize what a failure he is because he's saying these things like, God, Martin Smarty was able to start his own business at the age of 10. He started like selling popcorn out of a wagon. It's like, I'm
Mm.
17 and I don't even have a wagon, and nor does he have a job or
Yeah,
anything
one of
for
those
that
things.
matter. And he doesn't even want a job or to keep a job.
Mhm.
So Kim, she sees now that Ron is starting to actually take all of this stuff kind of to heart a little
Mm.
bit. And she realizes, maybe I have been a little hard on him about all this stuff. We have been fighting a
Mhm.
lot. And so she tells him that, yeah, sure, you've had some bad luck lately with getting and keeping a job, but don't worry, things are going to turn around for you soon.
Mm.
And then she shushes him immediately because they're obviously trying to sneak into this
Yeah, you
island or
gotta
sneak
keep it
about this island.
down.
And she's like, okay, now shut up as we try to like break into this mansion.
Yes.
So they get their way into the mansion and they fall, of course, right into Shigo and Junior's trap room, which is just this massive open room with like laser guns and an alligator pit and
Mm.
all of these booby
Of course,
traps
naturally.
everywhere. Naturally. This is what you do when you're a billionaire. Every billionaire has one of those rooms, right? Even
Duh.
Oprah. Could you imagine Oprah having
A trap room.
Yeah.
It's all like medieval in there.
Like she
And
gives
you
Final
get
Boss in
tortured.
a
You get
way.
tortured. You get tortured.
You go down the alligator pit. So yeah, they immediately start fighting again,
Mm,
obviously, against Shigo and Junior here. And while Kim and Shigo are going hand to hand, Junior realizing that like it's not really worth it fighting hand to hand with Ron, especially like given Junior's size. Like Junior's a
yeah.
lover, not a fighter, but like, come
Yeah.
on.
He's
If
like,
he
this is
had to fight Ron,
unfair.
like Ron's done.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to fight. And if I did, it would be so unfair. That's not
It would be
cool.
so unfair. Listen, I'll go down for a theft charge. I'm not going down for murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a child, no less.
You see this pretty face? I'm a child.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Junior, he runs up and starts to control runs up to like up the staircase to a control desk and starts to man these self-activated lasers and just starts firing them all over the
Oh,
mansion and
okay.
all over
Bold.
this trap room, trying to shoot Kim as she runs and flips around the entire place. And this gives
Mm.
Shigo a chance to just like stand back and watch, like, yeah, yeah, get her, get
Get
her,
him. Get
get
him.
her.
Look at our teamwork,
Oh,
honey. I mean,
it was so good. I mean, Junior,
Junior, Junior,
sorry, can't
honey.
say honey till the third date. Honey. She's like, but it did come off the tongue, it rolled off the tongue
Pretty
very well.
easily.
Okay. She's like, I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. So, anyways, yes, Junior kind of like steps away from these lasers so that he also doesn't get shot by them. But
Uh,
Ron is pretty stealthily able to run up to these controls, these laser controls, and rig them a little bit, or at least kind of like
mm,
redirect them, which gives Kim literally 1 second to catch her breath before Shigo and Junior like jump her basically and
uh,
start to run after her.
great.
But like I said, Ron, he didn't turn the laser off. He just kind of redirected it. So it is still shooting like towards him. And now
Uh-huh.
he's running for his life through this
Great.
trap room. And in fact, he is running so hard that he runs himself right into the alligator pit because he's not really paying attention.
Oh, we hate to see it happen.
But he's a hate to see it happen, really do. But he is able to hold on to the ledge of this pit before fully falling in. So he's just like dangling, hanging
Okay.
on for dear life. And eventually, all of this noise and destruction and these lasers going off, it catches the attention of the homeowner, the island owner,
Yes.
senior. Because I'm thinking the same thing. Like, where is this poker room? Are they in an underground bunker? Can they
Yeah,
not
straight
hear
up.
any of this? But yeah, they hear all the chaos in the
Okay,
home.
good.
Like Ron screaming, especially too, like children screaming.
Yes,
And so
alarming.
Senior, yeah, and his filthy rich friends emerge from their card game, asking what all this ruckus is about. And Senior then sees Ron hanging in the alligator pit and is like,
The fuck you
Ron
doing?
Stoppable? What are you doing here? Like calls him out by name, doesn't mention Kim, doesn't mention anyone else,
Uh-huh.
but goes straight for Ron, which I probably imagine has to do with the fact that like they wouldn't be villains if it wasn't for Ron, as
Yeah,
you explained in
exactly.
one of your episodes. So Ron is like, we're here to save Martin Smarty and you and everyone else, I guess,
Uh-huh.
too. Also, all you billionaires. And Martin steps in and says, rescue us from what? And Ron says, from Junior. He kidnapped you all along with his father for a ransom, right?
Uh-huh.
And so Senior slowly looks over at Junior, who is just kind
Uh-huh.
of like,
Like, oh shit.
you guys weren't supposed to find out about this. and he demands an explanation from his son. And so
Oh,
Junior
okay.
stammers and stutters for a moment before forcefully, confidently standing up for himself and saying, "Yes, it's true." Martin and the others, on the other hand, they're shocked and in utter disbelief that Junior would even attempt to pull off such a stunt.
I mean, pretty impressive.
And it is impressive. But it's hilarious because Martin is looking at him like, "What is the matter with you? The only way to describe such an act of that nature is downright evil." But he says it with a smile on his face.
Ah,
Yes. So
they're all so proud of him.
they're so proud of him, but also hilarious that even in the year 2007, like these writers are obviously saying, like, yeah, they endorse evil guys.
Right,
They
get
are
it.
evil.
Please
Exactly.
understand.
Yeah, like he's very proud of his friend's
Yes.
son. And then, of course, Senior, yes, like you said, is also super proud. He's like, "That
Oh,
is
this is
evil,
his
son.
best
That's
birthday
amazing."
present.
Yeah. And so he goes in, he wraps his arm around Junior, and he says, "Well done. I'm so proud of you." And Junior, he wishes his father a happy birthday and starts to tear up. And his dad starts to tear up. And he then thanks Junior for the marvelous gift. He's like, "This
Oh
was
my
a
God.
fantastic gift, son. Like,
This is a
truly,
good
it's so
gift.
sweet, actually, how proud he is."
Oh my
Because then
God, this
after
was so
that, he goes
evil.
in, he gives his son a massive hug. Like, they are just hugging.
Oh,
And you know it's a good hug because they close their eyes.
that's
Their
how
eyes
you
are closed.
know they mean
How
it.
they're hugging, their eyes are closed. But then when Senior opens his eyes, he sees Shigo standing behind Junior. And he immediately, his whole demeanor changes and he says, "What's she doing here?" Which I was
Uh-oh.
like, yikes, drama. What happened?
This
What
is
happened?
not going to be a happy wedding.
What happened? Someone is not approving of their son's
Uh-oh.
partner. Uh-oh. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so we unfortunately don't get an explanation of what the past tea is between
Oh
them.
no.
But when he said that, I literally was like, "Ooh, I
J
need all the tea. I need to know. I need to know."
Damn.
So Shigo, though, she's like, "Hey, no, no, it's cool. This was all Junior's idea. I was just here to help. And, your son actually came up with a
Oh,
really good idea.
oh my God.
And actually, it's still a good idea." And she immediately like jumps into action, like kidnaps Martin Smarty.
Oh my gosh, she's like, actually, with Junior here, now it's the sixth richest people in the world
Yeah,
I could kidnap.
I can get 6 billion, five, please. Yeah,
Lame.
so she immediately grabs onto Martin Smarty and drags him over to the alligator pit
Oh
and
no.
demands her $1 billion. And Kim tries to talk Shigo down, as does Junior, which Junior is so hilarious. He's like, "Yes, you see how pleased father was with his gift? We can stop now. We're done.
The joke's over. The
The
gift's done.
joke's
It's played
over."
out.
Yeah, he's already a billionaire. He doesn't want the ransom money. He's like, "No,
Yeah.
no, I just wanted to make my dad proud." But she doesn't care. She's like, "No, no, 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 no. I need my $1 billion now. I'm not doing all this for nothing," which also is kind of sad because I was like, "But
Oh, for
think about
nothing but
Junior."
love.
But
You
it's
did it for
Shigo at the end of the day.
love.
She is truly a mercenary, does
Because she was
everything for
hurt by
money.
the disapproval of what could have been her father-in-law. She's acting out.
Exactly. This is all Senior's fault. Right.
Truly.
But remember, so she's dragged Martin Smarty towards the alligator pit. Ron is still hanging on for dear
Oh
life
no,
off
Ron.
the edge of this alligator pit.
Okay.
So as he's trying to just grab something to pull himself up, he
Uh-huh.
grabs onto Shigo's leg, but this startles her, forces her to fall back into the pit. Down, stuck with the alligator, she becomes, and Ron just climbs his way out and stands
Okay.
face to face. Yeah, he's fine. Shigo's not,
Okay.
though. And Ron just stands face to face with his idol, Martin Smarty. And so he, fanboys over that for a
Uh-huh.
minute and is very excited. And seeing that things are basically wrapped up here, Senior tells Junior to make sure his quote unquote, directly from the show, his lady friend does not hurt
Oh, would not say girlfriend because he does not like her or approve.
the burn, but also not saying like you're I don't know, your lackey. I don't know. I feel like
partner.
there's
Yeah,
other your partner. I feel like
sidekick,
there are other words he
your
could have said. Like lady
mercenary.
friend was a choice where it's like
Yes,
he
lady
knows.
friend was an
He knows they're a
implication.
thing.
Yeah, and he like
Exactly.
wants his son
But
to
he
be
doesn't want
happy,
to
but
admit
just
it.
not with her.
Exactly.
Mm.
And so yeah, he says, make sure your lady friend doesn't hurt my alligators.
Oh.
And so Ron, he goes on to get Martin's autograph. And of course, Martin
Mm.
offers Ron an award, or reward, I should say, for
Oh.
saving his life. And
Uh-huh.
Ron is super excited, of course, because he loves to be rewarded. Like,
Yes.
yeah, what do you
Same.
want? Like, you give me money? Who doesn't? Exactly. It's
Yeah.
human nature. But the excitement immediately fades when Martin, he offers Ron
A job.
a job. And Ron's like,
Ron.
oh, yeah, thanks. That's cool. And Kim is like, elbows him, and he's like,
Take the
yeah,
fucking
yeah. I mean,
job.
yeah, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Mr. Smarty. In the job, Ron, he becomes the manager of the Smarty Mart pet store, which,
Oh, that's kind of cute. Hopefully,
okay,
there's no
okay.
lions in
It's
there.
I feel like you do hear a big cat somewhere in the
Oh no,
background, and like
Ron's
an
done.
elephant and a lot of stuff. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. But anyways, nonetheless, the job pays Ron quite well because only a few days later, he's able to take Kim, his girlfriend, back out to that fancy restaurant. And
Oh.
this time they don't even need a kids menu or coupons or anything. They order
Oh.
off the main menu. But Ron, he does still ask the waiter for a fresh set of crayons, which ultimately makes Kim smile. The end.
Oh. Oh my God. I loved this episode. What a perfect last episode.
I mean, it's like it's the
Wow.
perfect bow on top of everything, you know? We see Kim and Ron
Truly.
together. Maybe Shigo has her little thing. And if that doesn't work out, then like, the whole Kim and Shigo lore could come back in the future too.
She's got Draken
But
though.
for
Again,
now,
the last episode, maybe she ends up
yeah,
with Draken
that's
potentially.
true.
Ego
Yeah.
got options. She'll have to work through this
She's got options.
heartbreak of her father-in-law not
Exactly.
liking her. But
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
he's old. He won't be around much longer,
Yeah,
probably,
surely she's
anyways.
got to lock in that will
Just
though.
exactly, exactly.
Wow,
So
great
yeah,
job. What a
thank
fun
you.
final
Thank
episode.
you.
What a hoot.
Yes, putting a nice bow on our Kim Possible arc, but hopefully we can
Yes.
unwrap that bow another time one day because
Yes,
there's
I would
many
love
more
to.
episodes to cover. We'll do
There are.
another arc perhaps in the future. So we
Yep.
always say it's the last episode for
For
now, and maybe we'll
now.
revisit it. Yes. But we already have plans for what our next show is going to
Oh
be.
yeah. It's
Boy,
wild. It's
is it
something.
something.
I
You say, is it wild?
said it's wild. It's something.
It's wild. It certainly is wild, that's for sure.
Wild.
Yeah, so we're very excited to
Yep.
see what we think of this show that we're about to do next and
Yep.
what you all think of this show we're about to
Hmm.
do next. And there's a certain reason why we're going to do the next couple shows. Actually, yeah, we know the next two
Next two
shows that we're going to
shows.
cover for a certain
Yep.
reason, which we will explain next week
Yes.
when we start that. It's a very special reason. But until then, Grace, who should they tell about this podcast?
I think y'all should tell someone who works in a mall food court about this
Mm,
podcast.
okay.
They're probably kind of miserable dealing with people at a
Yeah.
mall, getting food from the food
Yeah.
court,
Or the lack thereof, the
or
lack
the
of people
lack
at the
thereof.
mall.
They're bored as hell, or they're annoyed.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job. They need some
No.
pop that AirPod in, listen to something good. So tell someone who works at the mall
Yeah.
food court. And who else
Awesome.
should they tell?
Then you should tell someone who works at like a Pac Sun
Oh,
or like
nice.
I don't want to say too
Hollister.
many things at once, but yeah, exactly. We'll say like PacSun, Hollister,
Yeah.
American Eagle, those sort of
Yes. That vibe.
stores. Yeah, that vibe of store,
Good.
that preteen, beach, casual, preppy, sporty
Yeah.
wear type of
Perfect for the
thing.
middle of Ohio where we grew up to be wearing
Where we
this
grew up,
surfer
yes.
girl wear.
Dude, PacSun was my shit growing up.
I
It was
fucking
like
loved
PacSun and Hot
PacSun.
Topic were the two that I went
Yes,
to, which I feel
exactly.
like is duality in a way.
But still
Like
same
the Venn
crossover.
diagram on
Kind of,
that. The Venn
yeah, surfer
diagram is
skater
exactly.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
So, anyways, go relive
Great.
our teenage days and tell
Yeah.
them. So, but until next week,
Yeah. See you next week. Bye.
bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.